sings love songs, you know, pretty face.
You know what? I grew up loving them love songs and stuff, and I still do. I just, but you know, when we go play live shows, people want to have fun, and I do too. So we have those parts of the shows, but we also rock out, you know, and have a blast. So.
Yeah, I heard this one song that I was like, I heard your story about Pretty Woman.
Oh yeah.
And the scene, I was like,
yeah.
oh, that's my favorite scene.
Upper middle class white trash.
I can't wait to hear that. You playing that tonight?
You know what? We haven't played that in a long time. We may play that.
You have to play that.
We'll have to talk.
I want to hear the story.
You know, the story is just that my buddy, he moved down to Florida. He's from Myrtle Beach. And he moved to Florida to learn this business from his uncle, and gets down there and he worked nonstop all the time, and he was a high-end. He did things in cars, like he would fix if your leather was messed up in a real high-end car. He could go make it look like new, and it was a specialty kind of a business. So he made really good money, but he worked hard, you know, and he had worked up in a van and that kind of thing. And but he made good money. Well, one day he gets invited to this kind of shindig. He wanted to take this girl on a date, and he got invited to this kind of fancy party. And they said, hey, you know, wear something kind of nice. So he goes, all right. So he goes, oh, I think I'll go shopping. So he gets off of work, you know, at 5 o'clock, he's in his t-shirt and jeans and paint and dye all over him, and it's pulled up in his van. Somebody told him where to go. They had this kind of cool upscale clothing place. So he pulls up in his van, and he walks in, and he said, Lee, he called me right after. He said, Lee, you don't believe what just happened. He said, I walk into this store, and the people met me at the front door, like, sir, can we help you? And he's like, well, he's like, yeah, I want to get some clothes. And he's like, okay, well, you know, we don't take checks here. And he's like, oh, really? Well, how about this? And he pulls out, you know, a big wad, you know, he makes good money. Like, he would very well deserve to be in that store. And so he was like, so how much is that shirt? They were like, oh, it's, you know, $150 or whatever. He was like, I'll take it. And they were like, oh, well, what else do you need? You need a belt? Blah, blah, blah. So they changed their whole story. So anyway, that's where that upper middle class white trash came from.
Okay, I have to hear that. I also heard that there's a group on Facebook. They love you. They love you. They're BriceAugust.
Oh yeah. You know, I guess they're kind of becoming my fan club.
Yeah.
I guess. So,
have you been?
Yeah, I know another couple of girls that started it, and they always come to the shows, and they support us so well. And I thought that was a cool name. I like the BriceAugust.
I like that. I like that. I also heard that you started out, you went to college on a football scholarship.
Yeah, I actually was an invited walk-on, and I got offers to go to a lot of places, but when you're from South Carolina, you're either a Clemson fan or a South Carolina fan as far as college football or college. And I was a Clemson fan, I always wanted to go there, and so that was my goal. That's what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. I went and walked on, and I earned a scholarship, and but then I got hurt quickly after that, and it was like, you know, stayed a couple more years in school, and then decided, you know, that football was over, and all I ever loved it, you know, that was music. Music was the deepest part of me, and so I just went ahead and moved to Nashville.
Yeah, you sang in church.
Well, I got a question. I got to follow up the football question. If Lee Brice were a professional football player instead of a country music singer, what position would he be playing?
Well, I would be long snapping, definitely.
All right.
I'd be long snapping, but then in the NFL, they don't just hire long snappers to be long snappers anymore. You have to be able to play something else. So I'd have been long snapper and a backup center or a backup linebacker or something like that, or maybe a tight end, something like that. So they want to have you that you can play, or special teams. They want to have you can play something else.
All right, so you're a Clemson guy. You got a favorite NFL team?
Yeah, you know, growing up in South Carolina, we never had any professional team at all. My junior year, I think it was, or senior year, is whenever we got the Carolina Panthers, but then I was gone right after that. So I've been in Nashville for 10 years, so really my team is the Titans. But I'm more of a college guy anyway, so. Well,
you watch the Titans this year. You get a couple of Northwest guys down there this year.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. It's going. Hopefully we can get it rolling and get our tail back to quit hogging up all the money and
get back to work.
Yeah, get back to work.
All right.
I want to know who inspired you to write the song "Crazy Girl," because I heard that song on the way to Oregon in April, and I went, "Oh my gosh, whoever wrote this song gets us, gets how we think."
Well, I'll tell you what, I was dating this girl. I've been best friends with her since the day I met her in freshman year of high school. We literally were best friends, but I always loved her. She knew it, but she would never date me because she was like, you're the guy I want to end up with. She wanted to, you know, she just knew that She was smart, but anyway, so we were best friends for 10, 12 years, you know. Best friends. And then we ended up dating. After she got out of college, one day she gave me that look. And I was like, there it is. I'm waiting on that look. And so we started dating. And she had been through some stuff to where some guys that just weren't nice. And it was like, so she had gone from this really, really vibrant, awesome, wonderful girl, confident, to a little, and she was insecure, and he had just damaged her, and so over through the course of the time we dated, you know, I kind of just tried to bring her back out of that funk, and so through that, you know, there were times when she was just so insecure, and I was just like, you know, I ain't going nowhere, darling. You ain't gotta, don't worry about it, you know. And that's where that song came from.
I love that song. Are you still with her?
No, we broke up. She was ready back then. She was ready to get married. I had just gotten to Nashville.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew what I was in for the next 10 years or however long the rest of my life. And I knew her heart where she really, really was going to be happy. It was hard to, like, stop that because she was wonderful. She really was. And so she's happy and she's married. She's got kids. So it worked out for the best, but we're still great friends. So that's good.
All right, I got another question for you. So a lot of people don't know that you've written some of the songs that you've written. If you were telling somebody to surprise them about songs you've written, what are some of them?
Well, I wrote one that really changed my life called More Than a Memory that Garth Brooks put out. And it debuted at #1, which had never been done in music history, which was just like unbelievable for me. I've got, you know, The Crazy Girl out there on the Eli Young Band. I've got one coming out on Chesney here in the next couple of months. It might be in the next few weeks, who knows, but on his record right now called 7 Days, and it's a special song, and I think he's going to release it. I think it'll be cool, so that'll be something.
Which one are you most proud of? Do you have one? Can you pick one?
You know, I'm really proud of More Than a Memory. That was from a very real place for me. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking about the one girl that I never could get over, and dated her for 4 years in college, and just, she was that girl, the love of my life kind of thing. And so it had been years since we'd been together, but I just still always had a thing. I woke up and had that idea and was just writing her a letter, and so that song came from a real place. And
Did you make the trek to Nashville? Did you think you ought to just go and write songs and do clubs, or
no? I went to Nashville to write and sing my songs. You know, I went there to be an artist. I, you know, just got a little more. I had a little more success earlier on as a songwriter, you know. But you know, it just takes time for everything.
So it's more about sharing your music.
Yeah, I
what's
mean,
on your heart.
You know, that song especially, that one is personal to me. And Garth was one of my biggest heroes. So that's like getting struck by lightning. You know, it's 1 in a billion chances that could ever happen to anybody, and it happened to me, and I'm just lucky.
So what does it feel like now that you're becoming more known? You're not just like the background guy writing songs.
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's what I've always wanted, you know. And there's good, there's positive and negative with every job or every life choice that you make. And so I'm not home ever. I'm away from my family, and that part's tough. But I'm doing what I love, and I'm working hard at what I love instead of working hard digging a ditch, you know, which I would be doing. I'd be pulling wire, being an electrician right now if I wasn't. And you know, I enjoy that, but this is my heart. I'm fortunate to be doing what I love.
Which family member encouraged you the most?
Well, Mom and Daddy always, you know, they support me. Even when I was at Clemson for 4 years, I had a year to go in a civil engineering degree. They, you know, they just trusted me. They trusted my talent, and they trusted what. They always knew there was something in me that I would do that, and that there was nothing to stop me anyway. So they just, even though I was not going to graduate, I've been there 4 years. They didn't give me heck about it. You know, they encouraged me. And they always have. They supported me. No, they supported me. Everybody supported me. Everybody knew that this was my heart. This is where I had to be. This is what I had to be doing.
So if you weren't doing this, if you weren't succeeding at this, what would be your backup plan?
Well, I'd be writing songs. I'd be writing songs back on Nashville, and if that wouldn't work, you know, as of now, I would do something in music. There's no way I wouldn't do something in music. If this wouldn't have worked and I'd have gone home, I'd probably be an electrician. I'd be, you know, wiring houses.
All right. Before I ask you a couple of goofy questions and let you get away, tell us about Love Like Crazy. What's that been like?
Well, that was just crazy. It was, you know, that song is so big. I didn't write it. I got lucky enough. My producer wrote it, and he says, Lee, before I pitch this to anybody, you know, be sure if you want, I want you to hear this song. And I heard it. I was like, oh. So, you know, it made me think of my grandparents. It touched me, so I figured it would touch anybody, you know. And So, and then it changed my life. You know, it became the biggest song in my career, but by far, and it was the biggest song of the year. It was song of the year. You know, so it was cool.
What's the best concert you've ever seen?
Garth Brooks when I was 17.
Where did he play? Where was it?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Who's on your iPod that would surprise us?
I don't know. You know, everybody from that would surprise you. Eminem. You know, Coldplay, John Mayer, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Jack Johnson. But I love, you know, the other concerts that I love though are, you know, Hank Jr. and Ted Nugent and Aerosmith. And, you know, I mean, Aerosmith. Come on.
My favorite concert ever.
Aerosmith. I mean, that's probably my second. If I mean, it's up there. Garth and Aerosmith. I mean, there's such a connection between those guys and people. It'll never go away. That's a real talent.
I was going to ask you Coke or Pepsi, but I think you're telling me right now.
Actually, Coca-Cola. But when it comes to the yellow drinks, it's Mountain Dew. So, you know, I guess it just depends on the drink.
Right, beer or whiskey?
Whiskey.
All right. And then, so I was going to ask you iPhone or what's the other one?
iPhone.
iPhone.
If you ain't got an iPhone, you ain't got an iPhone.
All right. So who's the last person you texted?
Oh, I just texted my Kyle Jacobs, who has been a friend of mine in Nashville for a long time, and we just started producing some stuff together on my new record. So we actually started getting to work together, and it's a really cool thing to be able to. So I was just texting him, telling him how excited I am about this new stuff we've been recording.
All right.
All right.
Cool.